Hello students, today we are going to start with unit number 3, unit number 4, that is torsion. In unit number 3, we have studied about bending stress variation diagrams and shear stress variation diagrams. Now, in this particular unit, we are going to discuss about torsion, torsion theory, composite section, shafts are in parallel, shafts are in series. All these equations reach determinant and indeterminate shafts. That entire content of this particular unit. Now under torsion, we are going to discuss about the torsion theory, its a derivation, and in the first lecture I have added 3 to 4 numericals. Now to start with, in number 4, so here you can see generally how the torsion occurs. Generally, torsion means twisting moment cause the torsion or axial couple. Twisting moment means what? Whenever there is a torque, directly there is a torque applied to any body. Okay. So at that particular time, one end is suppose fixed and other end is rotating. At that time, there will be torsion in the beam or torsion in the shafts. Generally, in the trucks, you might have observed the axle of the truck, okay, axle of the truck rotating means what? It forms the couple, it develops the couple, okay. So that circular shafts are used to transmit the power or a torque. It get twisted due to the torque which causes to be considered as a positive torsion or positive sign convention. Whenever it moves opposite direction, or that is called as a negative couple. As already we discussed, torsion generally causes shear stresses in the shaft. Torsion normally produces the shear stresses in the shaft. The shear stress varies with radial distance from axis of the shaft. Okay. Shear stress varies with radial distance. Radial distance means what? As R varies, shear stress varies. So here I have shown the shear stress variation diagram. It can be shown like this along the circular shaft, or it can be shown like this. So here you can see, if you consider this diagram, this is the radius. As the R changes, when R is 0, shear stress tau is 0. Means at the center R will be 0, and that's why here shear stress is 0 in case of torsion when R is 0. When R is equal to capital R, when R is equal to capital R means what? This external surface, the shear stress tau will be maximum. Okay, means when this R is capital R means at the outer periphery, shear stress will be maximum. That's why here you can see these arrows increase in the magnitude toward the outer periphery. Means shear stress will be maximum when R is equal to capital R, or at the outer periphery of the shaft, shear stress is maximum. Now there are certain assumptions in the torsion theory. Just like beam theory or just like shear stress theory, there are also few assumptions. Few assumptions are always common, that material used is homogeneous, isotropic, perfectly elastic and obeys Hooke's law. The elastic stress is within elastic limit. The cross section remains circular, straight and do not changes the shape after twisting. No distortion in the shape after twisting. Distortion means what? Change in shape and size. Angular distortion. Okay. So there is a no change in shape and size. It means what? There is a no warping, no bending in the cross section. And last one is torsion is constant throughout the length of shaft. Means as the normally shafts are used to transfer the torque in the sort of power. So here torsion is constant means along the length of shaft the torsion is assumed as a constant. These are the few assumptions. Next one is the polar moment of inertia for circular section. What is polar moment of inertia? Already in moment of inertia chapter unit number 2 we have discussed this. Polar moment of inertia is nothing but it is addition of Ixx plus Iyy. For circular section Ixx and Iyy are same, pi by 64 d raised to 4. And polar moment of inertia is denoted by letter capital J or IP. P stands for polar moment of inertia. It is nothing but the moment of inertia of major and minor axis. Addition of these two. Sum of moment of inertia about major and minor axis. That is Ixx plus Iyy. So polar moment of inertia for circular section is equal to Ixx and Iyy both are same. It is just addition. Whenever it is addition, it will be twice pi by 4, pi by 64 d raised to 4. So this 2 and if you divide 2 by 64 it will be 32. So polar mi for circular cross section j or ip equal to pi by 32 d raised to 4. Okay. So for circular section mi is pi by 64 d raised to 4 and polar moment of inertia is pi by 32 d raised to 4. For hollow circular section, we know that there are two diameters, internal and external. So for hollow circular section, that polar moment of inertia remains same. Only the change is you have to deduct capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4. Okay. So formula will be pi by 32 capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4. So I am discussing here only circular and hollow circular section because in the torsion chapter normally shafts are taken to transmit the power or torque, and that's why shafts are normally circular in section or hollow circular in section. So that's why you usually come across to these two cross sections, that is solid circular section and hollow circular section. Now here you have to first of all see torsion formula. So torsion formula or torsion equation is T by J is equal to G theta by L equal to tau by R. Now what is J? Just we have discussed, J is the polar moment of inertia, T is the torque. Torque is also called as twisting moment. Torsional moment, twisting moment, torque all are same. It is a moment, so unit will be Newton meter or Newton mm. R is the radius of curvature. This R may be capital R, small r. You can use any one later. So R is the radius of shaft. Small r is the radial distance from center of the shaft towards outer periphery. Okay. So small r, capital R, as such there is no difference. In equation you can use any one later, no problem. So theta is equal to angle of twist in radians. What happens whenever this particular section get twisted, this OB will changes into OB dash. Is what happen here? There will be some angle of twist theta. Okay, due to twist. That theta is angle of twist in radians. Normally, sometimes it is given in degrees, 1 degree. So whenever angles are given in degrees, you should convert it into radians by multiplying with pi by 180. Okay, degree into pi by 180 you will get that angle in radians. अगर रेडियन में है तो उसको डिग्री में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए 180 अपॉन पाई से मल्टीप्लाई करो और डिग्री का रेडियन में कन्वर्ट करना है तो पाई बाय 180 से मल्टीप्लाई करो. Where G is shear modulus or modulus of rigidity. Normally its value for steel is 80 GPa. 80 GPa or 80 into 10 to power 3 MPa. Okay, so that is called as the shear modulus. Tau is the shear stress in MPa. MPa means what normally? Newton per mm square. where tau is shear stress. This term tau. L is the length of shaft in meter, centimeter, mm. According to the terms, other terms in the equation, you have to use unit for the length. Where P is the power transmitted by shaft. Okay, that P is power transmitted by shaft, and normally power is measured in watt or kilowatt. Okay, 1 kilowatt is equal to 1000 watt. Okay, according to the equation problem, you can use the equation. Okay, so what we discuss here, we have discussed about the torsion formula or torsion equation. This equation you have to use to solve the numericals. But before going for numericals, we will discuss first of all derivation of torsion formula, how it is derived. So initially you have to consider this particular shaft AB. Okay, shaft AB, and now apply a small moment like this, torque or torsional moment to this particular outer periphery. So I have taken cross section from this particular shaft. Okay, so whenever we are showing figure like this, means the torque will rotate this end like this, but due to the fixity it will try to avoid the rotation. Means here there will be anti-clockwise torque at the end, and here there will be clockwise torque. Okay, so and due to that there will be twisting in the cross section. Now see, let T be the torque applied which causes the distortion in line EB. So initially this line EB will be straight. Distortion means what? Now this B will change to B dash, or B will change to C here. B will, now this AB will take new position, that EC, like that. Or here if it is the initial length AB, it will change to EB dash, means there will be some distortion in the cross section. R is the radial distance in meter or in mm. Okay, so this is the R I have shown here. If we consider point C, it will change to C dash. If we consider point B, it will change to B dash. And this distance of point C from origin is taken as R. Here I have shown that R, where theta is the angle BOB dash. This BOB dash, this angle is theta, and phi is the angle of shear strain, angle of shear strain. So this is angle phi, it is the angle between BAB dash. That angle will be shear strain. Shear strain means what? It is deformation per unit length. Shear strain means what? Deformation per unit length. Now, if we take tan phi here, tan phi means what? This front side upon adjacent side. So, tan phi is equal to BB dash, this vertical side, BB dash divided by length of the shaft. Okay, so this is the length of the shaft. As you know that phi will be very small, there will be twisting, but it cannot be observed by eyes. That twist will be very small. When twist is small, phi is also very small. That's why you should ignore this tan, then just write down phi equal to BB dash upon L, and then BB dash is equal to phi into L or L into phi. This is an important outcome. BB dash is equal to L into phi. Say this is equation number 1. But the arc BB dash is equal to R theta. BB dash means what? This BB dash. You know that this arc length is normally calculated by using R into theta. Okay. Formula for arc is R into theta. So length of this arc is R into theta. Okay. So from equation 1, you know that BB dash is equal to L phi. Okay. BB dash is equal to L phi. So instead of BB dash, you can use L phi equal to R into theta. Then you can write down phi is equal to R theta by L. This is equation number 2. From definition of modulus of rigidity, we know that modulus of rigidity G is equal to shear stress upon shear strain. Shear stress upon shear strain means what? Tau by phi. So G is equal to tau by phi. Now instead of phi, you can use this particular equation 2, that is R theta upon L. So here phi is at denominator. So instead of phi, I am using this expression R theta by L, and then this L is divided here, and then this equation G becomes TL upon R theta, or G is equal to TL upon R theta, or if we take theta here, it will be coefficient for this g theta. This L is above, so it will be on the lower side. So g theta by L equal to tau by R, or tau by R is equal to g theta by L. This is one of the important equation. That is the first part of equation. Tau by R equal to g theta by L. If you want to calculate shear stress tau, then you can write down this equation like this. Tau is equal to g theta by L into R. Okay. So this is first part of equation. Now second part of equation will be proved by taking the torsional resistance. Okay. So there will be definitely torque by applying the force, but the material itself will try to avoid that torque, that is called as torsional resistance. Okay. How it is avoided? Let us consider a small force dF. The small force dF is acting at a distance r, produces a small twisting moment dt. Okay. If you consider a small force dF here at a distance r, it will cause a small twisting moment dt. Okay. So twisting moment means what? It is simply a moment. So as you know that m is equal to, how you are taking twisting moment means what? Force into radial distance. So here as the moment is small, twist is small, so here letter d is used. Hence, to find the total twisting moment acting over the surface, you can write down capital T is equal to under integral df into r. And as you know that tau is equal to force upon area, then force will be equal to tau into A. As the force is small, very small, so I will write df is equal to tau into d. Okay. So here in this equation, instead of df, you put this particular term. In the equation, there is a df into r. So instead of df, you use this tau upon dA. So tau into dA. So I have, instead of df, I have used tau into dA into r. Okay. And from equation 1, you know that tau is equal to g theta by L into r. Okay. So put this, instead of this tau, you can use this particular term from equation 1. So here you have proved that tau is equal to g theta by L into r, that you can put here, that g theta by L into r into dA into r. Okay. So taking g theta by L as a common, it will be 0 to r. Why it is 0 to r? Because from center to outer periphery. So limits of integration will be 0 to r, and then r into dA into r. So from this equation, I have taken g theta by L common, and this r into dA into r, it will be as it is. So it is nothing but r into r means what? R square into dA. And as you know that this r square into dA under integral, it shows the second moment of area, that is called as moment of inertia. And in case of torsion, it will be polar moment of inertia, G. Okay. So under integral 0 to r square into dA is nothing but, it is nothing but moment of inertia, that is called as polar moment of inertia, G. Okay. So T is equal to g theta by L into J, that is T by J is equal to g theta by L. So this will be equation number B. And if you combine equation 1 and 2, equation 1 was tau by R equal to g theta by L, and equation B is tau T by J is equal to g theta by L. Both equations are g theta by L equal to. So here you can take this equation in this way: T by J is equal to g theta by L equal to tau by R. This equation is called as the torsional equation or torsional formula. As per the problem's requirement, you can use any two equations simultaneously and solve it. Okay, because there are 6 to 7 terms. If you want to calculate T, other term should be known. You can calculate and twist angle theta, other term should be known. Okay, so in this way you have to use this torsion formula to solve the examples. Okay, now we'll see the first example. Here you can see that find the maximum shear stress induced in the solid circular shaft of diameter 150 meter when it transmits 150 kilowatt power at 180 rpm. Okay. Now here it is not 150 meter. 150 meter means it is huge diameter. Such a large diameter cannot be used for torsion. So here it must be 150 mm. Okay. I have written here correct value. So diameter is 150 mm given data. Power P is 150 kilowatt here, and N is 180 RPM. Okay. So here you can see, sorry, it is not written over here. So to calculate power transmitted, normally we are using the equation 2 pi nt upon 60. Okay, you might have studied in electrical subject. Power is calculated using equation 2 pi nt upon 60. So this equation, whenever there is a denominator 60, means here you will get this value in watt. This value will be in watt. Okay, so putting all the values, power is 150 kilowatt. Okay, so 150 here into 2 pi into 2 pi into n is 180 rpm. Then T you have to calculate, divided by 60. So torque T is equal to 7.9617 kilonewton meter. So here you can take this power into watt also, but at that time whenever it will be 150 into 10 to power 3, because watt में consider करना है तो किलो means what, 1000 से इसको multiply करना पड़ेगा. 150 into 1000 means 150 into 10 to power 3. अगर आप लेते हैं तो आपको ये आंसर मिलेगा न्यूटन मीटर में मिलेगा. Now here I have put value kilowatt as it is. That's why I got this answer in kilonewton meter. अगर मुझे इसको न्यूटन mm में अगर करना है तो मैं क्या करूँगा, किलोन्यूटन का न्यूटन करने के लिए 10 to power 3 और मीटर का mm करने के लिए 10 to power 3. इस टोटल दिस वैल्यू इंटू 10 to power 6 अगर मैं करता हूँ तो मुझे मिलेगा ये आंसर न्यूटन mm में. ओके, सो केयरफुली यू शुड एबल टू कन्वर्ट ऑल these values. Suppose here I have converted this values in Newton, okay, in watt, so it must be 10 to power 3, 150 into 10 to power 3. At that time my answer will be in Newton meter. Okay, but I have kept 150 kilowatt as it is here, that's why this answer is in kilonewton meter. Okay, so I got this value of torque. So what I have to calculate here, find the maximum shear stress induced, means here I have to calculate tau value. Using shear stress equation, T by J is equal to tau max by R. So what is polar moment of inertia J for solid circular section? Pi by 32 d raised to 4. This is the formula. Your diameter of the shaft is 150 mm given here. Okay, so this RPM is given, kilowatt power is given, diameter 150 is given. So by using that diameter 150, we will get polar moment of inertia. So 49.675 into 10 to power 6 mm raised to 4. And where R is the capital D by 2, because diameter is given means radius will be half of diameter. 150 by 2, that is 75 mm. Now to calculate tau max, we are having equation T by J is equal to tau max by R. Okay, T we have just calculated here, torque. Okay, so here I have converted it into Newton mm, because here all the values I have used in mm. The polar moment of inertia mm raised to 4, radius mm. So T should be, torque should be also in Newton mm. That's why its power is 10 to power 6. So tau max will be equal to T by R into G. This tau max is equal to T by R. It is denominator here, it will be numerator when I will take on other side. And after putting all the values T, R and J, I will get the answer. Tau max is 12.02 MPa. MPa means what? Newton per mm square. So this is the maximum value of shear stress. Now see next problem. A hollow steel shaft transmits 200 kilowatt power at 180 rpm. The total angle of twist in the length of 5 meter is 3 degree. Find the inner and outer diameter of the shaft with permissible shear stress 60 MPa. Take G is 80 GPa and inner diameter is half of the external diameter. So what is given here? Length is given as 5 meter. Okay. Tau is given as 60 MPa. Tau means what? Shear stress. External diameter is D. Assume that external diameter is D, because here it is given that inner diameter is half of external. If we assume external D, then inner diameter will be small d, that will be D by 2. Half of that means what? D by 2, that is 0.5 D. Power P is given 200 kilowatt. Okay. Revolutions, number of revolutions are given in RPM, 180 RPM, N equal to, and polar moment of inertia Mi is equal to, using the formula, it is the hollow circular shaft, because inner and outer diameters are mentioned. It means it is hollow circular shaft. So formula is pi by 32 capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4. So pi by 32 in bracket capital D raised to 4 minus small d क्या है 0.5 d raised to 4, 0.5 d capital raised to 4, and here it will be 0.092 d raised to 4, that will be polar moment of inertia G. R is equal to d by 2, d by 2 means 0.5 d, and theta is 3 degree. Okay, it is in degrees. Theta is 3 degree, convert it into radians. 3 into pi by 180, so it will be 363 is 180, it will be pi by 60 or 0.05233 radians. Okay, so we have calculated J, then R, then here power revolutions are given. So by using the equation of power, first of all you find out the twisting moment T. So using P equal to 2 pi nt upon 60. So power P 200 kilowatt, it is given in kilowatt, and I have used this value as it is in kilowatt. It shows that my answer must be in kilonewton meter because it is in kilowatt. If I am using 200 into 10 to power 3, so it will be in watt. Watt means what? This answer must be in Newton meter. But it is in kilowatt, so it will be kilonewton meter. So put all the values, find out torque. So kilonewton meter, I have to convert into Newton mm. So kilonewton 1000, meter 1000 means 10 to power 6. And then as theta T J L is known, then you can use the formula theta is equal to TL by G, or TL by GJ means what? We have used this torsion equation to abbreviate this. Theta is equal to TL by GJ. Theta is known in radians here. We have found out theta in radians. So put all these values: torque, length, G, polar moment of inertia. So G must be in 10 to power 3 because given in 80 GPa is to convert it into MPa, it must be multiplied 10 to power 3, and J value we have calculated J 0.092 d raised to 4. So in this equation only d is unknown. By solving this you will get the value of d 91 mm. Okay, so d can also be calculated by using other relation, that is T by J is equal to tau by R, because here tau and R both are known. When tau and R are known, so you can calculate d by using this formula T by J tau by R, and then you will get d 98.7, because in the torsion equation we are having T by J tau by R G theta by L. So by using T by J G theta by L we got d 91 mm, and using second relation tau by R, when tau is known, then and then you have to use this, otherwise no need to use this. First value is sufficient. So by using here tau is given, so calculate this d 98.7. For shear stress requirement tau must be 98.7, and for twist requirement this d must be 91 mm. So for shaper side you should use the maximum value. It is 98.7 and here it is 91. So use maximum value as a final answer 98.7, and then inner diameter d will be half of that, 49.35. Now see the last example, number 3. A hollow circular shaft of length 6 meter having inner and outer diameter and 100 mm. Inner and outer diameters are 75 and 100 mm. Subjected to torque of 10 kN meter, if G is 80 GPa, determine the maximum shear stress produced and angle of twist. So first of all write down given things. The length is given as 6 meter. External diameter D is 100, inner is 75. Torque T is 10 kilonewton meter. 10 kilonewton meter means what? 10 to power 6 Newton mm. Radius is d by 2, that is 50 mm. Half of this 100. Find out polar moment of inertia J, pi by 32 capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4. Okay. So by putting this value you will get polar moment of inertia 6.707 into 10 to power 4 Newton mm. Okay. Now you have to calculate tau and theta here. You have to find out angle of twist and maximum shear stress. So using relation T by J tau by R. So here you have to calculate tau max first. So put T, R and J. You will get value of tau max, that is 70. 73.88. To find the angle of twist, use this formula. Theta is equal to TL by GJ. You put all the values. So this answer firstly you will get in radians. Okay, 0.118 radians, and then convert it into degrees, that radian 180 into pi. Okay, and then you will get 6.4 degrees as the angle of twist. So in this way you have to use this torsion equation to find out the missing values as per the requirement of the problem. Okay, so here when angle is given in theta, by multiplying pi by 180 you convert into radians. Now it is in radian, to convert into degrees it is 180 upon pi. So we got angle of twist as a 6.4 degrees. Okay, so in this lecture what we have discussed, we have discussed torsion formula, we have discussed about derivation of torsion formula, then to find out the power transmitted, P is equal to 2 pi nt upon 60, use this formula. Then we have solved 3 to 4 numericals using torsion equation. Okay, so in next lecture we'll discuss few more examples. But dear friends, write down all the things in your notebook for your notes or as a notes. Thank you very much.